poetry. This is Michelle Lin.
You can just listen to the melody. I love it. I gave them a list of facts and pick and choose, and I was really interested in which ones you guys ended up seeing. All right, so I have 4 poems. But first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming because I missed a few of these. So you guys are much better people than me. So thanks. All right, so I've got 4 poems. The first poem is about my grandmother, my father's mother, and my relationship with her. I don't want to talk too much, but I think one thing I should clarify is that I talk about the nest of the white nest swiflet, which is used in bird's nest soup, which is a delicacy. And I guess, it can cost up to $100 US an ounce. So and I ate a lot of it when I was little before I realized what it was. So you should know that for this one. So right now it's tentatively titled An Ounce of Certainty. My grandmother built by knocking down a wall in her bedroom, a sun that came before waking, a light that waited inside her eyes. And so she caught certainty in her new sunroom as a red knowing pressed against her lids even before they opened. As the oldest, she wanted me to lasso light for my own, to learn too how to trap with the curve of the graspable. Spoons or china bowls, the sleeking, shining bends of birds' nests. Soaked in water sweet with rock sugar, such things sparked between my teeth. These are memories I once loved, even if her love later carved such sticky sweet caverns out of me, etched a poor family's history in enamel, married me to the music of metal instruments and marked cavities. Understand, I wanted to be class like her, sequined and jeweled, a whole woman turning with light. I did not want the nothing of holes she gave me, of tongues clicking against pits and teeth, and skin, and old worn jeans that sang the truth of me. Was it my fault her son left the train too soon, wandered in the wrong district, down the wrong alley, and met my mother? No, I wanted to be hard like grandmother. I wanted to be certain as that glimmering glass room and table, as her hands brightening our spoons. I wanted to take in that light. Oh, swiftlet, how you spun for me in your dark cave home, strands of pearls from your own throat. For $100 an ounce, my grandmother bought that sun. For $100 an ounce, she left money in my mouth to unmake me. So this next one is a portrait of my mother as Mystique. So by Mystique, I mean in X-Men, she's the blue shapeshifter. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. So there's that, and it's also a little bit about the story so when I was little, I carried my magnetic doodle board everywhere. You guys ever have that where you draw on it and you swiping? So I carried that everywhere, and I was out in public, and I started drawing breasts on them, and she freaked out. My mom was freaked out and dragged me out, but so that's part of that too. So portrait of my mother as Mystique. The child understands a body drawn blue can tide skies beyond pains, can sift into the moon and back. Change is feasible, is furious, is the many filaments of the self surfacing at her magnetic doodle board and bending to her pen. The shape of her is anything before the pen becomes roped in anchor, learns to stamp down stars, has the body blue broken into house, named from any moon to monster, first by some god in a helmet, then by the body herself. How quickly a bearing of breasts drawn by the two of my child hands is swept from the slate. How naked is my mother's apology as I, emptied toy in hand, and rushed from the door. How sudden is the knowing of shame, of learning this first part of us to cover when uncovered. What's kept closed behind doors, what humiliation. It could burn the whole house down. So then, how right is my making of blame? The hurt of each poem, hard metal core of my pen molded by men, how marked is emancipation. with a mother beaten into any woman's body, imagine who her child could be. Each time I look, she could change. Never mind, she was given first to me bare. Never mind, I did not turn then from her bruised body, even when drawn in tears. Back then, breasts were known by a child who just didn't know any better, or maybe she did. Maybe she knew the problem promise of blooming, of blues, of never quite finished moons. So I'm going to try and fit 2 more in, is that okay? Okay. The next one is dedicated to my sisters, Stephanie and Megan. My sister's dance. A fingernail pressed against porcelain prays back slow. A stone sure hurt as milk sliced from the stem. My sister's dance is not this, is no finger break umbilical stepping mad as morning, no violet glory leading some fence. My sister's dance is not hungry blue, is not mother's dress cold in bath against our legs. My sister's dance will not brim like water, does not break the lip of any woman. It cannot sit in slack jaws pleading for air. My sister's dance can rise any woman from any still state. It can leave a woman, leave like a woman. And then my sister's dance could be as tall as telephone poles, but more than crackling phantom, because my sister's dance is calling. It is talking about college. It will not be the hesitant honey in anyone's green tea. My sister's dance rough. My sister's dance lonely. My sister's dance spanning continents, passing lands of broken fingers, stomping out 6 sleeping capsules, capsulating yes. My sister's dance reaching the clash of narwhals in the closing sea, holding air as long as it needs to. And our mother will claw out this tub, and I will get up too, because my sister's dance is ringing and I am answering. Last one. So this is a self-portrait as cowbird. And I've talked about this a little bit with some people, but it's a brood parasite. And you guys can also just look this up because, I'm not going to talk too much, but it's a brood parasite, so it doesn't build its own nest and raise its own young. It lays its eggs in other nests, and shit happens because of it. And so, so I think the important thing, I guess, to know is that one of the things that could happen is the other baby birds could learn to sing like the cowbird instead of the original song. And also people really hate them, so they try to exterminate them and stuff. So self-portrait as cowbird. Eyes shut in mucus and sun, I know what I am. Masquerading blackbird, con, my hunger is loud and round as a single egg. No mother gripped me by the neck to dip in any river. I am brown-headed and mortal, perfect to box in and kill. Blame me for your carrier pigeons. Let me be the reason for your lost messages, your cut languages. I can teach little children how to siren monsters. You will barely recognize them. Oh, let me be bad, boogeyman, slicking back mane to spit worms like little white pills. So many egg-shaped sorrows broken into collision of blood and yellow. So many ways to know unkind. My instinct with softness is the same as any others, to touch or to smother. Let me hold you. Cloud of bird, willow the wisp, the hard bones inside, the question,